Hey everybody, Neil the Knife Guy here. Just going to do a collection video. Not much of my collection has changed. What you see in front of you is going to pretty much stay the same. I don't see myself getting rid of any of these knives. Maybe just run through them right quick. You got your Buck 110. This is another little buck made in China. You got all your Victorinox here. A couple of Great Eastern Cutlery. This is just a colonial, but it's fairly old. I could figure it's about from the 30s, maybe early 40s. A couple Kershaws, a couple Benchmades. This one actually has no Omega springs in it right now. I'm contemplating whether I should send it back to Benchmade or just buy aftermarket springs, since that's a thing nowadays. You could actually look on a bunch of different places, and they have, I guess it's basically piano wire. I'm pretty sure I could buy a thicker gauge string, guitar string, and use it that way. I would just have to figure out the thickness of the actual wire they use. Benchmade proper, a little file knife I made. Boca Rhino, Tops UTE. This is a New York knife maker custom, Warncliffe. Super thick stock on that. That's Spartan Blade Enyo. You got your... This is probably one of my still favorite small fixed blades, even though it isn't a good steel. I think it's like 3 CR. Took the bead blast off it, just polished it up with sandpaper, but still one of my most favorite, just small little fixed blades. You got your Spyderco Urban, I think. Yes, Spyderco Urban K390. This one actually has to go back also. When I got it, I'm using my hand for the camera. There's a lot of blade play in this, and it's the pivot's free spinning, and it's Loctited in there like you wouldn't believe. I tried soldering iron, I tried everything, and there's no way to tighten this pivot. So probably gonna send that back and do a video on it. Spyderco UK PK in titanium. Got this a long time ago from Knives Ship Free. Spyderco Polestar. Like this one. Super off-centered, but actually really smooth. Go back up here. Spyderco Volaton. I'll just say it all 3 ways I've ever heard it said. Beefy knife. The newest member of the family, the Spyderco Para. Probably my favorite knife out of the entire bunch here. You could tell from just the difference in between the Paramilitary 2 compression lock and the Para pression lock. They've really refined the mechanism. There's no stick in the compression lock. Like, I got a little bit of stick on my Para 3 even. Para 2 is pretty old, so it doesn't have any stick whatsoever. Just feels more refined, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. You have your Native 5 and G10 S35 VN. Probably my second most favorite Spyderco. Paramilitary 2, don't have to say too much about that. I do have the... God, I forget who makes this backspacer. Originally it was blue. It got dinged up pretty easily, so I just took the blue off, sanded it down. Para 3, already mentioned. Sage 1? God, it's been a while. But it's the liner lock. And still one of the most smooth knives. Yeah, maybe not. Got your Spyderco Endura. Spyderco Indela, and then the Spyderco Delica. And that's pretty much going to stay the same. I'm going to add a few knives. I still want to get, or at least try out, the smock, Spyderco smock. Besides that, I'm not really seeing too much out there that's new that I would actually like to get. Spyderco comes out with stuff all the time, and they're the way they're releasing their knives, it's a little bit at a time. They've been putting out some stuff that I would like to get, if it's available, type thing. Benchmade really hasn't been doing it for me. Zero tolerance. Been away from the knife community for a long time, and Zero Tolerance seems to have embraced the price hike, we'll say. Not too many of their knives are under the $200 mark. They never really were, but they did have a couple core items in their lineup that have now been discontinued. The 0566. They still make the 0350. Trying to remember their knife names is pretty tough for me, just because it's just a bunch of numbers together. I know they all have names, but haven't really seen something by them in a while that I wanted to get. I still want to replace my 0566, but them being discontinued now, it's a little bit tougher to find. If GEC, if I could get any more of those, I'll probably add a bunch of those. But you got to be really quick on the draw to get one of those, especially nowadays. There's a few more Victorinox I'd love to add. I'd like to get another Swiss Champ. I'd like to get the Pioneer X, I think it is, with the scissors, just because. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I didn't want this one to be too long. And stick around for more videos. I'm going to put a couple of these through a test. I wouldn't mind doing a test on this one just to see how S30V and such a thinly ground blade handles. I don't have anything else as thinly ground in S30V. Just trying to think. No, I don't. The thinnest probably would be the UKPK, just for grind wise, and it's still probably twice the thickness behind the edge as the Para. Super awesome knife. Still so blown away by it. So on this here, guys, thanks for watching. I broke my tripod just before doing this video also. That's why I'm just sort of holding the camera. I'll go look for one in a couple days. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Bye now.